why I no longer date single mothers. Okay, I want to preface this video by admitting over the years I have dated a lot of single mothers. I'm also a child of divorce, so I'm pretty well versed on this topic. Okay, there are two main categories full of reasons why you don't date single mothers, or why you shouldn't. The first is personal, and the second is societal. Okay, we're going to focus more on the societal reasons on this video, though there are plenty of personal reasons. I'll give you some of the main ones. Okay, what do I mean by personal reasons? What I'm talking about when I say personal reasons is what's in your best interest, what's best for your life. Okay, when I'm talking about societal reasons, what I'm referring to is what's best for society. That's what we're going to focus on in this video. If I tried to do both, the video would go on for an hour, and that's just way too long for a YouTube video. Okay, so personal reasons, I'll give you a few of them really quickly. Okay, it's not in your best interest. It's going to drain you emotionally. It's going to drain your energy. It's going to drain your resources. And most importantly, it's going to derail you from your path and purpose. What do I mean by your path and purpose? Especially if you're a young man. Your goals, your dreams, your desires, okay, it's going to derail you from that. Okay, that's a whole separate video that I'll probably do in the future. So we're going to focus on the societal reasons. Okay, let me explain how I got there. Like I said, over the years, I've dated many single mothers, and a few years back, the last one I dated really opened my eyes to this. I dated her for probably 6-7 months, somewhere in there. Pretty quickly into the relationship, she introduced me to her daughter. She had a 5-year-old daughter that I met pretty quickly. Really cool kid, really funny, really smart. I really hope she's doing well at this point. And her father, my ex-girlfriend's ex-husband, had a standard parenting plan, court-ordered parenting plan, okay? If you don't know what a standard parenting plan looks like, this is pretty much what 90% of them look like, okay? The father gets to see the child every other weekend, okay? And a lot of times there will be a clause in there that says you alternate holidays and birthdays and things like that. But for the most part, the father gets to see the kid every other weekend, okay? There's 30 days in a month. That means the father gets to see his kids 4 of those days. It's incredibly unfair to the father. It's even more unfair to the child, because when a father only sees his child 4 days a month, he really can't make any impact on that child. He can't impact that child's life in any meaningful way. And if you're trying to sell yourself on that he can, you're deluded. That's just not enough time. On top of that, typically the mother is bad-mouthing the father on top of that, making it even tougher for him to make any kind of impact. So I'm dating this woman, and one night we're out, we're in the car, we're going to dinner, I'm driving, and the phone rings. And it's her ex-husband calling on the phone. She answers it in the car, and he's trying to make arrangements to see his daughter this upcoming Saturday, the next Saturday, because that's his weekend with her. And she starts, you know, really giving him a hard time and being really nasty, and tells him, well, you can't see your daughter this weekend because her brother-in-law had a birthday party and she wanted to bring her daughter to the birthday party. Guys, this was an adult birthday party. There were going to be no other kids there. There was no reason for her to bring her daughter to this birthday party, okay? That was more important than, you know, the daughter spending time with her father. And I'm listening to this, and it really got under my skin. And I'm thinking to myself, you know, don't say anything, because if you say anything, this is going to lead to a big argument. And, you know, so what happens is this conversation on the phone is going on, and eventually this poor beta male ex-husband of hers caves in and says, oh, okay, well, I guess I just won't see her this weekend. And then my ex-girlfriend basically hangs up on him. Then she starts mumbling under her breath, you know, what a jerk this guy is, what an asshole this guy is. And I'm thinking to myself, as an outsider looking in, you're the asshole. You're the jerk. This is what I'm thinking. But I don't want to say anything because I know it's going to lead to an argument that I don't want to have before I go to dinner and see a movie. But I couldn't help myself. I had to say something. You know, it was really bothering me, and she had just shown me a side of her that she should not have. So I say to her, "You're lucky it wasn't me on the other end of that phone." And she kind of looks at me baffled, and she says, "What do you mean by that?" And I said, "I would have quickly told you no and hung the phone up. Do you really think it's reasonable that this man can now not see his daughter, who he never gets to see, because you want to take her to an adult birthday party that the kid has no interest in to begin with? Do you really think that's reasonable?" She says, "Yeah, I do think it's reasonable." You know? And she says, "If you hung up on me, I would have called you right back." And I calmly said, "If you had called me right back, I just would have told you that I will be at your house Saturday morning. If my daughter is not dressed and ready to go, you can explain to the judge why you violated a court order." And she just stared at me, kind of baffled, like she didn't know what to say. And my thought was, oh, you married a beta male, and you probably only dated beta males before you married him. You've never been checked by an alpha male. Okay, because she was baffled. She had never been talked to that way by a man. I was just giving her the truth. And guys, I could see if it was a situation where the little girl was afraid of her father, or, you know, her father was a broke drug addict, you know, that couldn't take care of the kid. That wasn't the case at all. That wasn't the case at all. I actually met the guy once. For those of you out there that have been in that situation where you're dating a woman and you meet her ex-husband, it's always very awkward. But he was actually a really nice guy. And I know the little girl would rather spend the weekend with him than go to some bullshit birthday party that there was going to be no other kids at, because I had been to her house, you know, several times when she had come back on a Sunday evening after spending the weekend with her father, and she would always tell me about what a great time she had and all the fun she had. You know, she loved spending the weekend with her dad. You know, and I would say to her, "That's awesome. It sounds like you have a great dad." And she would say, "Yeah, I do." So that wasn't the case. You know, she was just doing this to be controlling and to be bitter and to break his balls, you know, over nothing. So I shortly ended the relationship after that, because that opened my eyes to a couple really important things. One was, she showed me a side of her that she should not have. I'm glad that she did, because it could have been another 6 months or another year before I figured out, you know, just how manipulative and damaging this person could be. The other thing it opened my eyes to is that there are societal reasons to not date single mothers. There's a reason that we shouldn't do that, guys. The societal reasons are, like I said, there are many, many personal reasons to not date single mothers, especially if you come along one that has kids by multiple men. Okay, what I mean by that is she has kids by more than one man. That is a huge red flag, guys. That is a huge warning sign that you are dealing with a damaged person. I don't care how hot she is. I don't care what her excuse is, what her reasons are. If you encounter one of these guys, run. Run for the hills and don't look back. But going back to the societal reasons, the main reason you shouldn't do it is, guys, we have an epidemic in this country of women separating children from their biological fathers, okay? And we're paying the price for it. We're paying the price for it, okay? It's just a fact. Look at the stats, okay? Why is this happening? Well, one of the major reasons that this is happening is there is not enough stand-up guys out there that will put their foot down and say, I am not going to date a single mother, okay? There's just not enough of them. Why? Because most men don't think with their brain, okay? They think with another body part, if you know what I'm talking about. And to be brutally honest, single mothers are low-hanging fruit. They just are. They're low-hanging fruit, okay? I've dated enough of them to know. I don't do it anymore, but I've dated enough of them to know, okay? So if guys would stop doing that, then women will think twice before, you know, kicking the father of their children to the curb. Okay, they do that because they know if they kick the father of their children to the curb today, they can get another guy tomorrow. Just like that. Especially if they're still attractive. Okay, by doing that, you're not doing yourself any favors, you're not doing society any favors, and you're damn sure not doing those kids any favors. Guys, look at the stats. I am not making this shit up. I am not saying things just to say them. Okay, the stats don't lie. Numbers don't lie. Kids that grow up in a household without two biological parents are more apt to commit crimes. They're more apt to get involved in drugs. They're more apt to not get enough formal education. And they're far more likely to get divorced themselves and repeat that whole pattern. Why would you want to be involved in that? Why would you want to participate in that? Wouldn't you rather be part of the solution than part of the problem? Okay, if you need low-hanging fruit, work on yourself. Yeah, guys, not dating single mothers is challenging, especially when you get to be my age. Okay, it lowers your options. Okay, you're gonna have to aim for high-quality women instead of low-hanging fruit. But by doing that, you're putting the good of society ahead of the needs of your dick. Okay, that's what you're doing. Guys, nothing good can come from it, okay? And these are the worst types of guys, okay? These are the worst types. And I've encountered them as a child. Like I told you, I am a product of divorce, okay? My biological mother has been dead for many years now. She was a great woman, but when she divorced my father as a kid, she had a lot of suitors. A lot of guys coming around wanting to date her, wanting to be in a relationship with her, wanting to marry her, you know, and she ended up marrying a couple of them, okay? And these guys all did the same thing. They were cool to me, you know, they acted nice to me, you know, they might even throw the ball around with me or take me out for ice cream or whatever, and I could see right through it. It wasn't that they really cared about me and loved me. They wanted to sleep with my mother. That's why they were doing that, okay? And what happened once my mother married them and they became stepfathers? Yeah, they became assholes because now they had her locked down and they could go back to being the scumbags that they really were, okay? And the problem is, even if you want to care for that child, even if you want to love that child, you can't. You're not hardwired to do it. It's not your kid. You are trying to finish another man's game. You can't do it. You're not set up to do it. You cannot defy Mother Nature, okay? You can't. You want to talk about a badass single mother? That's one I won't mess with, okay? Mother Nature. Okay, she wins every time. Guys, you can't beat Mother Nature. Don't try it, okay? And these kids are more perceptive than you think they are. They can see right through it, okay? Don't do it, guys. It's not good for you. It's not good for society. And it damn sure is not good for those kids, okay? Be a man, step up, don't date single mothers, move on with your purpose in life, and go for a high quality woman. Okay, guys? Single mothers are single mothers for a reason. Okay? There's a reason. I'll get into that on the next video when I talk about the personal reasons as opposed to the societal reasons. But the numbers don't lie, guys. They don't lie. I've seen it too many times in my life. Don't do it. It's not in your best interest. It's just not. If you're still with me and listening to this, I really appreciate it, guys. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. And if you disagree with me, please let me know in the comment section. I'll debate you. I've got all the stats on my side. I've got the truth on my side. I've got the experience on my side. But if you think you can create an indefensible position and then make an argument for it, I'm more than happy to debate you on it. Thanks, guys. Thanks for listening. Stay on your purpose. Keep on keeping on. Talk soon. Thanks.